wanted to show my Garmin Etrex 30 that I recently purchased. There's some reviews online and some how-to things, and I've learned a few things already, mainly just by doing it. Some of the YouTube videos were very clear, very nice, and I did learn how to do a few things. Now, I don't have a map loaded onto it. I do want to buy the Michigan map, but it's, you know, 75 bucks, so I just haven't done it yet. So it's been kind of nice. The reason I purchased it was the over my period of hunting, there's been some times, a couple times in the last couple years, where the areas I hunt are surrounding swamps, and cell phone signal is hit or miss inside these areas. So, you know, tracking a deer into the woods can be easy with a blood trail and footprints and different things like that, but finding the quickest way out or finding your way out of the woods can be difficult. Now, you know, I'm hunting, you know, suburban areas, so, you know, if I take a compass heading and just go a straight line anywhere, I'm going to come out somewhere. But with a GPS, the option will be is to take the shortest route back to my truck instead of a compass heading and end up having to go through the furthest part of the swamp to get back to a landmark. Now, daytime is different, but in the nighttime, you know, you can see as far as your flashlight sees. There's also been a few times where I've put thumbtacks in trees or a little red flagging tape to mark a way into a stand, and everybody else sees that too, and I've had some problems. I've never had a stand stolen, but I've had other things moved or taken, or the area disturbed in such a way that I didn't really appreciate it. So that's why I purchased this. Now, initially, I really wasn't happy with the size of it, but I'm seeing now that it does have its benefits. So, you know, the first thing you want to do is, for me anyways, is just to mark my waypoint. Where did I park my truck? Now, the properties I hunt, I generally kind of park in the same area, so it's easy to mark a waypoint and just label it as that. You know, whatever your hunting area is named, and car park or truck park. And then you can mark where a stand is, a bait pile, or if you happen to run out of a blood trail at night, and you can mark the last spot that you were there, and you can come back in the morning, even without snow on the ground, and be able to find at least where you left off, which I'm hoping will benefit me in recovery. Well, I'm going to show you how to mark a waypoint real quick, and then we're just going to do a little hike here. Get on. You hit the power button over here, the light button. It turns the light on, gives you your backlight and battery life, and it goes right back to there. And it's easy. You just use your little joystick over here, toggle down to mark waypoint, press on it, and it comes up that. And you move your joystick up to where it gives a number, and you click on the joystick, and it'll give you an option to rename it. Now, this is kind of slow. You scroll the letter out that you want, or down to the space bar. So, I mean, this part is kind of slow. Kind of reminds me of the old telephones where you had to hit a button 3 times to get the letter you wanted. So You don't really want to get too descriptive on it, just to keep it short. And then scroll down to done and click on it. Okay, now this is AJ's car park. This is where I generally park my truck or the car. And then you hit done and it's there. So you hit map, you can see right now it's telling me right where I'm at. So now we're just going to go for a walk through the woods to my next spot that I want to be in. So here we go from there. So this is one of the properties I hunt. Got a real nice field over there. Nice hardwood ridges over there. Swampland over there. And pine, open forest. Going down into some hardwoods. Now, how I got permission to hunt this property was I introduced myself to the landowner, talked to him for a little while and his wife, and asked if I could get permission to walk these mongrels out here, because he does have a lot of nice open area and trails. When I first met him and talked to him, he said he really didn't allow hunting out here because he'd had problems with other hunters, disrespecting him and the land and his wife. And I've ran into that quite a lot. Guys get to where they hunt a certain property for a while and they kind of get where they take over ownership of it, and when a landowner does something, they get upset at the landowner. Well, you got to remember, you're a guest. That's what you are. You're a guest. Doesn't matter if you've been a guest for 10 years or 10 days. You're a guest. The farm we hunt, there's been a few times the farmer's been out there working on the field on opening day of gun season in Michigan. Upsetting? Yes. Do I disrespect the landowner or say anything to him about it? No. It's his land. He's a farmer. He's got to work when the sun shines. So, you know, albeit kind of hard for my day, it's just part of his life. So keep that in mind when you hunt someone else's property. If you're walking along and you see garbage, pick it up. You see they need a hand moving some brush or something, give them a hand. All that stuff will come back tenfold. You ain't got to show them every little piece of garbage you bring out. They're going to notice it, or in conversation say, yeah, you know, hey, man, I picked up a whole garbage bag full of garbage the other day when I was walking the trails. They appreciate that. And that's all it takes. So after a year or so of walking the dogs and proving to the landowner my good intentions and my desires, he allowed me to hunt here. Now, in 4 years, 4 years of hunting here, I've taken 3 deer. So it's paid off. He doesn't charge me to hunt. I keep an eye on the property for him. I see something wrong, I take care of it. Now, here's one of my hunting locations. Usually I hunt in a tree stand up there, or I hunt up there. So what I want to do now, since I just got this, I want to mark this waypoint. And I'm going to name it AJ stand See, it is slow, so try not to make a mistake and try not to get too descriptive about your waypoints. mighty quiet. So now we're going to go back. I named it AJ Stand 1. Now we're at AJ Stand 1. I know where I'm at. So the reason I'm going to do that is I got 2 or 3 stands in this little section here that I'll hunt out, and I use a climber. So, you know, any one of these trees generally is good for me. I may set up against that tree up on top of that ridge or right straight up there with my gun and hunt down through this valley into the swamp. Back in there is 60 acres of swamp. It's got 3 springs in it, and they do all flow into one kind of central drainage. Now this particular stand and area, I really wouldn't need to mark on my GPS. I'm just doing it for you. But if I shoot a deer and it runs back into that swamp at nighttime and I get the trail in it and I have to give up on the trail, or I get to the deer and I got to leave the deer overnight, and there's no snow on the ground, different things, it could be kind of difficult to find my way back out. 3 years ago, I was tracking a wounded buck, and not thinking, didn't grab my actual manual compass, but I did have my phone on me, and I was able to use the compass to bring myself out. So what I want to do is I want to take like these waypoints here. I've got an aerial view of the property. I'm going to laminate that, and I'm going to try and lay these waypoints out on there and areas that I've tracked deer to and found deer. Because you know, you shoot a deer off the same stand and it runs wounded away, a lot of times they'll run the same direction. All of them will. So if you know where one went, you got a pretty good idea where the other one might have went too. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to do some more videos on this GPS. Order that map when I get some money, and we'll go from there on our little quick tutorial. The one thing I did want to mention, the cell phone has a GPS. It has a compass on it. It can help you a lot if you have cell service. If you're in areas where cell service is spotty, the phone's GPS doesn't work that well. If you have a case on your phone and you get water between the face of the phone and the cover, you damn sure can't operate the phone until you take it out of the case. So this Garmin, it doesn't use cell towers. It uses satellite tracking. So that's more reliable, definitely in the areas that I'm concerned with. Now, that's just something to consider. Always go into the woods halfway prepared, with some sort of something to get you back out, or an ability to build a fire or make a shelter of some sort. Don't go for a walk, even out here in these power lines. If you notice in the intro of the video, you've seen a strap across my chest. That's because on the back side is my is a sling pack with dog leashes and bandanas and compasses and lighters. I don't have a Mylar blanket in there. I took it out, but I need to buy another one and throw it in there. There's even some paracord in there. Enough where I can build a small shelter of sorts to get the rain off me. I slip and fall. you know, at least I can throw a tarp down or throw the mylar blanket over me and keep myself dry. Build a small fire until help comes. I might even use the phone to call in help, but the time it takes them to get there, I'll be, you know, dry and hopefully warm, and make rescuing me a whole lot easier. So we've just walked around the perimeter a little bit to the south side here. You can see all that back in there is just swampland. Well, any questions or comments, please put them on there. I'll be glad to try and answer them for you. Okay, well, here's a sample. Now, I circled the swamp over to this property's northwest corner. So I marked my waypoint as northwest corner. I just put AJ northwest corner. So if I come back here to the home screen and I go to where to, recent finds, which will probably work, or waypoints, and I'll hit AJ car park and go. Okay, now the pink line shows my direct line of travel. Now it doesn't show this trail of sorts. The blue is where I just walked. The pink is the direct line to the pickup. Now, put the light back on. Back. So now I'm on a trail. So I really don't have to use a GPS. I know where this trail goes, but that pink line is my direct line of travel to where I parked my car, and it tells me where I'm at right now. That's just a quick overview. There's still a lot more to this thing that I want to show and I want to learn. So any tips or comments or anything like that that you see that could help other viewers, put it in the comment section. Tell me about it. That's Bailey. That's Brandy. Brandy Sue. She's my troublemaker. And there's the old man down the trail there, waiting on me to get back to that nice dry truck. Okay, well, any questions or comments or tips, please put them down there so we can all learn and other viewers can learn.